In just a few hours after this video goes up, it'll be opening day. Oh, you son of a bitch. In just a few hours after this video goes up, it'll be opening day for baseball. I know some people might say that opening day was when the Athletics and the Mariners played 2 games in Japan, but this will be the official opening day where all the teams, I believe all teams, will be playing a game starting in a couple hours and going on throughout the day. So to commemorate that, I decided that I'm going to go through franchise mode. I will have to control one team even though it'll all be automatic. But of course I'm going to control my favorite team. So I'm going to go through franchise mode. We're going to start up a new one. We're going to use the current roster, which is one that I've downloaded that also has almost a complete full roster of prospects and stuff like that, so it's more accurate. I'm going to control my Yankees. Okay, so we're going to turn that off because it doesn't matter. Off, off, off. Ignore budgets, off. Force trades off, and designated here. Yep, everything's good. So I'm going to auto-manage everything so I have no influence on what happens. There will be trades and injuries on, although for those I have turned down the sliders to make it a little more realistic, because in MLB The Show, when you have the sliders like normally, especially for injuries, there is a ton of injuries, and a lot of injuries that span anywhere from 4 to 6 months to where it makes players not even usable. So for the sake of trying to keep it real and not have 4, 5, even 10 of the main players on like each team on the DL, I'm going to turn down those sliders, turn on the sliders on the trades so there's not 100 trades going on through the season. And yeah, we're going to start the regular season. I'm going to sim 2 months until the end of May. We're going to check the stats then. Then I'm going to sim 2 more months until we reach the trade deadline. We're going to see how they're stacking up then. We're going to see if there's any major trades. And throughout all of these steps, I'm going to see like any big injuries or stuff like that. And then I'm going to sim to the end of the season. We're going to see who got in, sim to the World Series, and yeah, we're going to see who wins the World Series according to MLB The Show 19. So with that being said, I'm going to sim all the way up to May 31st, and I'll see you guys there. Alright, so we've reached the end of May. First thing we're going to do is we're going to look at the standings and see how everyone stacks up. So in the East, we have the Red Sox on top of the Yankees, 1.5 games. The Indians in first, and the White Sox, surprisingly, in second, although they're all under 500 like they were last year. Astros, of course, in first, with Angels being in second place, and the Athletics down in fourth so far. Not saying I'm expecting that. In the wild card, we got the Angels and the Yankees up top. In the East, we got the Braves, National, Phillies, Mets. Of course, the Marlins are going to be in last. In the Central, we got the Pirates so far. I don't think so, but you never know. Every team in the Central definitely has a shot to make it. Although I'd say the Pirates probably the least, but you never know, and they're all above 500. In the West, we got the Dodgers, the Rockies, and of course the bottom 3. And for the wild card, we got the Cubs and the Reds. So now we're just gonna check out some statistics through some people, and then we'll sim up to the trade deadline. So we have Jose Altuve batting .381. Wow. Even though it's 2 months in, that's a lot. We have Mike Trout with 21 home runs, also supporting above 340 average. Giancarlo with 18. Jose Ramirez with 16. JD, Xander, and Judge all hitting 16. Mike Trout and Alex Bregman in the lead for RBIs. Billy Hamilton, of course, the speed demon, has the most stolen bases. Justin Verlander has the most wins. Cam Bedrosian has the most saves. Interesting. Trevor Bauer, a beast of a player, has a 1.44 ERA and the most strikeouts. In the National League, Christian Yelich is leading atop the batting average with Daniel Murphy, Josh Donaldson, Corey Seager, and Rizzo coming up in the top 5. Bryce Harper has the most home runs, followed by Donaldson, Goldschmidt, Yelich, and Eduardo Escobar. Interesting. Not somebody I see as a big power guy, but you never know. Bryce Harper also leading the RBIs. Starling Marte with the most stolen bases. Alex Wood, Trevor Williams, and Walker Buehler all lead with 7 wins. Raisel Iglesias and Kenley Jansen leading with 16 saves apiece. And Clayton Kershaw definitely could have a bounce-back season, leading atop the ERA of a 1.47. So now we're going to skip on over to the end of July so we can see if there's any big trades. And at that point, we will also see if there's any big players on the injured list. Alright, so we've made it to the end of July. We're going to take a look at some standings. We're going to take a look at some trades, and we're going to look at some injuries. And before we end off this section, we're going to take a look at the people that made it to the All-Star game, and maybe we'll be able to compare once July comes. So in the East, we definitely still have the Red Sox in the lead, with the Yankees falling behind with the Rays right up their tail. In the Central, still the Indians, but the Twins have taken over second place by a game. In the West, the Astros and the Angels are catching up on them, with the Mariners above 500, which is interesting. And the Angels and the Yankees with the Rays right up their tail in the wild card. In the East, we got the Braves, Phillies, and the Mets retaking third place from the Nationals as the Nationals fall below 500. In the Central, the Pirates still leading with the Cubs, Reds, and Cardinals all about, all teams are about 500 still. But the Pirates, I mean, they could be sneaky good this year. And in the West, we got the Dodgers, of course, still in first place, with the Diamondbacks now taking second place, with the Rockies falling under 500. And the Cubs, Diamondbacks, and Reds with 2 teams less than a game behind. Now, the National League is going to be a very tight race between all these teams that have gotten better. Jose Altuve still leading with 350 average, still hitting the ball a ton, with Mike Trout having a monster year. JD Martinez has the most hits. Didn't expect that to happen. Mike Trout, of course, has the most home runs, with Martinez, Stanton, Judge behind him, with Cruz on the waivers. Castellanos on the waivers down there too. We got Mike Trout leading with RBIs. Hamilton stealing bags left and right. And something that would be amazing, but I don't think it's going to happen, is that average with 298. If he could start hitting for contact and just using that speed to get on base, he could be a major threat and a very good piece for a lot of different teams down the line. Corey Kluber, of course, Cy Young, I think 2 times now, has 16 wins. Roberto Osuna has 34 saves, with Otero, Alvarado, and Bedrosian leading up behind him. Clevenger has taken over Bauer for the ERA leader. And Trevor Bauer still has the strikeouts, so let's go to the National League. Josh Donaldson, a very big person who could have an amazing comeback here, leading the batting average with Christian Yelich, Yadier Molina, who's on the injured list, with Jeanette, and Kemp leading up behind him. Markakis has the most hits. Harper still has the most home runs, with Donaldson, Freeman, Yelich, and Escobar still hitting bombs, or leading up behind him. Donaldson and Harper have the most RBIs. Marte still has the most stolen bases, with Trey Turner and Jankowski, 3 speed demons at the top there. Trevor Williams and Clayton Kershaw now share the lead for the most wins, with Robbie Ray and a lot of other people that I don't want to read off right now leading behind them with 11. Kenley Jansen, of course, could have a big comeback year since he had the heart surgery I think he had last September, which kind of hurt him. So I think he'll have a bounce back year. Definitely could have a lot of saves. And of course, Clayton Kershaw could be coming back. I'm pretty sure he got injured last year too. Leading with the ERA. And Robbie Ray. Yeah, Robbie Ray. We got Robbie Ray leading out with the strikeouts with Yu Darvish and Patrick Corbin behind him. I see you, Robbie Ray. Looks like the Mariners have Malik Smith on the 60-day injured list. Looks like he's been on it for quite a while, as he's about to get off in about 3 weeks. So, yeah, that's a decent loss, especially for at least 2 months, because a good contact, good speed guy could be sneaky with a few homers. Texas has Joey Gallo out for the rest of the year. Man can hit bombs on bombs on bombs, especially in this game. He is like a cheat code still in 19. I mean, the first 2 at-bats I had with him were both 450-plus home runs, and I sucked with Gallo last year. So, I know this is just a franchise, but Joey Gallo, if you don't have him for your Diamond Dynasty team, get him. He is a glitch, and he is a cheat still this year. Reds losing Joey Votto and Jose Peraza, 2 of their pretty good pieces for this year. I don't think they want to lose either of them. Peraza is a very good contact and speed guy, can play all around the infield. Joey Votto, I mean, he's the face of the Reds right now. You don't want to lose him. That's going to do it for the injuries. Now we're just going to take a look at who made it into the All-Star game. Then we're going to go to the end of the season, see who made it, see who didn't make it, see how close they were. And then we're going to sim each game, each day, just to see who makes it to the World Series, and we're going to see who wins the World Series. So for the American League, the starting pitchers are going to be Bauer, Kluber, Clevinger, Paxton, and Rodon. I mean, yeah, I can definitely see Bauer and Kluber making it to the All-Star game. I don't know if I'd say Clevinger. But, yeah, 3 Indian starting pitchers. The Indians got a lot of good starting pitchers on their team. For the closers, there's Osuna, Alvarado, Giles, Colomé, Treinen. Treinen's going to have another good year, I feel it. What, .78 ERA last year? Yeah. I definitely think he could be in the ones next year. Mike Zunino could have a very good year getting out of Seattle. Salvador Perez, fortunately, he's going to be out for the year. And Omar Narvaez, CJ Cron, and Miguel Cabrera. Miguel Cabrera, definitely another person who could have a good comeback year. Jose Altuve, of course, the guy who hits everything. Jose Ramirez, Eduardo Nunez, Asdrubal Cabrera, yeah, for the Rangers, could be decently good. And Vladimir Guerrero Jr., yeah, he's going to be a stud. He doesn't have the best fielding, but, I mean, he can hit anything everywhere. I mean, I saw him hit a pitch that was, like, almost in the dirt. He barely swung at it and drove it all the way to the wall. Like, that's a lot of pop for somebody who just happened just to swing at something like it was a stick. Xander Bogaerts, Marcus Semien, Bo Bichette. I don't know how Bo Bichette made it with 32 at-bats and a 156 average, but I'm not going to question it. JD Martinez, again, great hitter, not the best fielder. That's why he's a DH. Michael Brantley, Justin Upton, Mike Trout, Hamilton. Could be sneaky this year. And, of course, Mookie Betts and Steven Piscotty. In the National League, we got Kershaw, Walker, Hyunjin Ryu, Zach Davies, Alex Wood. Again, a few Dodgers, a few Dodgers, an ex-Dodger. Tommy Hunter, Wade Davis, Kenley Jansen, Edwin Diaz, Raisel Iglesias. You have all these big-name closers. Francisco Cervelli. I don't expect that much pop, but I mean, definitely could expect that average. I definitely think he can hit 300. Wilson Contreras, Kurt Suzuki, Freddie Freeman, Neil Walker. I don't see Walker making it, but I mean, if he's playing full-time, I can definitely see it. Cesar Hernandez, Cano, Donaldson, Bryant, Machado. If Machado hits like that in his first year as a Padre, I don't think Padres fans are going to be too happy about that one. Corey Seager, definitely another person for a bounce pack. Brandon Crawford, one of the best defensive shortstops right now. Marcell Ozuna, Acuna, which I think they have it wrong with the arm strength. The arm strength should definitely be up. I mean, I'm pretty sure I've seen him throw a lot of like really good things. Pretty sure I've seen him throw a lot of good balls back to the infield or just trying to throw people out. I don't think the 53 is right. Ender Inciarte, of course, a great center fielder, a great Good speed person, great fielder. Bryce Harper, of course, leading the league in home runs with Yelich and Markakis behind him. So yeah, now that we've done that, we're going to sim to the end of the year, and we're going to see who made the playoffs. So one thing that I noticed that I forgot to do was to show the transactions to see like if anyone got traded or anything. But looking through these, I don't see like anything for transactions. So if anyone knows where they are, so if I make a different kind of video in the future, let me know, because I'm just not finding it. So yeah, that'd be appreciated. So now we're going to go into the standings, and we're going to see who made it, who didn't, and how close they were. In the American League, we got the Red Sox winning with 130 games. We got the Yankees and Rays making the wild card with Yankees at 90 and the Rays at 89. Rays could be another very sneaky team this year that could make it into a second wild card position. The Indians have 109 wins with their outstanding pitching, followed by Lindor, Ramirez, Santana, Kipnis, a lot of big people. Jake Bauers they got now. Good team. Just can they put it all together after losing Cody Allen and Brantley and Encarnacion? Astros winning 101 games. I definitely could see them winning 100 games this year. With the Angels, Angels were one game away from making the wild card. Such a shame. I don't think Cougs would like that very much if they missed by one game. In the East of the National League, we got the Braves and Phillies making the playoffs, with the Braves winning the division by one game. Nationals missing out by 3 games, and the Mets missing out by 5. Marlins not even close. The Cubs came back to win the division on top of the Pirates, with the Cardinals missing out the playoffs by 1 game, and the Dodgers, of course, making the West with 104 wins, as there are 8 teams within 4 games for a playoff spot. I definitely think it's going to get that close with the other teams not being close. Rockies should be closer because their pitching is starting to come together, and of course they always have that amazing offense at Coors Field. So I definitely think they'll be above 500, but I mean, there could be anywhere from 8 to 9 teams trying to grab that spot for the 2 wild cards, and they could all be within 5 games of each other at the end. I mean, that's how good those teams are in the National League. The Yankees have been eliminated by the Rays. I mean, if that happens, I'll be upset, but I mean, good on the Rays. So now we have Houston against Boston, Tampa Bay versus Cleveland, Atlanta versus the Cubs, and Phillies against the Dodgers. We have 2 big games coming this day. It's either going to be Houston and Cleveland, or Boston and Cleveland, or it's going to be Atlanta and Philly, or the Cubs and Phillies. Okay, never mind. I'm dumb. I forgot. That's not how things work. So we're going to sim one more day. There we go. It's Boston against Cleveland and Atlanta versus Phillies. Phillies take Atlanta 4-2, and Cleveland takes Boston 4-1. So according to MLB The Show 19, it's going to be Cleveland versus Philly. That would definitely be an interesting one, because Cleveland hasn't won in so many years, so it'd nice to see them finally win one after so long. I think it's like 68 years or something like that. Cleveland tied it up 3-3. This is a 7-game series. Cleveland versus Philly. Who is going to take the World Series? It is the Phillies. Shelfie, I think you might get your wish coming true this year. Philly has taken the Indians in the World Series. Let's check to see who the MVP will be. The World Series MVP is Cesar Hernandez. The postseason MVP for American League is Lindor, and it's Cesar Hernandez. So it looks like Cesar Hernandez is going to be a big key for the Phillies, especially in the playoffs. I mean, he hit 274. I mean, definitely could be a big piece. So before we end the video, we're just going to take a look at MVPs, Cy Youngs, and stuff like that. In the National League, the MVP, Bryce Harper, almost 50 home runs, above 300 average. The Cy Young, Clayton Kershaw, I mean, that's an amazing year. Rookie of the Year, if he makes it up, could be Victor Mesa. In the American League, the most valuable player is Mike Trout, of course. Corey Kluber wins the Cy Young with a 22-3 record with a 2.66 ERA with over 200 strikeouts. And the Rookie of the Year, I have no doubt that this is going to happen, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. With that being said, I think this year is going to be a very interesting and very competitive year. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video. I don't know what it's going to be because I had made videos talking about, ranked seasons and Battle Royale, but my mic cut out, so I had no audio. So, I mean, if you guys want me to play those again just to get my second impressions on each, that'd be great. You just let me know and I'll do them. But with that being said, besides those two things, I don't know what I'm going to do next. I've been trying to do Conquest to get that Ty Cobb to make a video for that, but I suck at Conquest, so there's that. But with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one. Leave a like, subscribe if you want, and let me know some stuff you want me to do in the game. I have 28,000. I'm trying to get to 30,000. Maybe we can do another pack opening. So, we'll see. I'll see you guys in the next one.